move around from production. We are going to be going back to Bar this time around, and we got to see Exiled play very well here. Looks like YF is opting to go back to that Echo, as we've seen him so strong in before. And I gotta tell you, this game has gone back and forth. The attackers win one, the defenders win one, and I think it really is an even matchup. I'm really liking the Virtual-5's attack, but Team Exiled has really done a lot on defense so far. I'm liking how flexible they've been. They haven't, I mean, in the lower tier scenes, we see maybe 1-2 setups come in, but from the likes of Team Exiled, they've had three or four. Not 3 or 4. They've had 1 or 2 different strategies that they bring out, and they've really been rotating around the operators to counter how the attackers have been playing. They know that they go for a horizontal push, so they bring operators to help with that. They know that they're not bringing much hard breach, and minus the bandit being brought this round, they haven't brought a whole lot of breach to Mount because they've known they haven't really needed it. This time around, they are going to be bringing it because the likes of Nostalgia was able to open up a few walls in the fauna last time around. Nevertheless, they are going to be going for a little bit different of a roam. They are going to be having the Echo playing in Whiskey and Equidom playing in VIP. 2 very strong positions, but the attackers have really switched up the way they're attacking this. They're going to be opting to go for a 3rd floor roam clear, taking out anybody playing on the top floor, which it doesn't look like they're having. Doesn't look like we are going to be seeing any defenders up here, but nevertheless, this is really the way you're going to want to take it. The horizontal push wasn't able to net them anything this last time around. So moving on, it is a little bit more slow into the round, but nevertheless, should be seeing action momentarily as they are going to be clearing out the 2nd floor. And it looks like they are going to be establishing this vertical control. This is exactly what we wanted to see from before. Establishing the vertical control and clearing out the rumors is really the best way to take. It's really the best way to take Kitchen, but nevertheless, Lego is able to get his first shot onto Flickshot playing on the 1st floor. And Lego really holding that Wamai down very well. I think he's gotten a kill just about every single round, really helping out his team. And I think he's had the opening kill 3 times so far.
So everybody seems to be felting all of their lead into that one single hole, attempting to get the kill on Echo, because people have seen how influential Echo has been for Exiled against V5. Having Flickshot out should, I must say, give some leeway to Echo to run around with his drone and have a mixed sort of playstyle, because we have seen a relatively more aggressive Echo this game. We might even see a mix of an aggressive and a plan denying Echo. So in this round, Hazix and YF getting their kills onto Viper and Nostalgia. And oh, Zofia goes in for the Nani goes in for the quick drop into Freezer and getting the kill onto this thing. It's a 1v3, all down to Hazix. Nice flick attempt onto whoever's there, and he gets the kill onto Lego, who's the Wamai. It's all up to the Jaeger and the Bandit 2 of Equinom and Tower the Vice. Oh, the C4 is gonna come in and he's gonna get the boom goes the dynamite. Tower the Vice gets the kill onto Nani, and it's Exile getting equalizing the score to 3-3 on into the halfway point. So that was a good. That round could have gone in any direction, because the drop from Zofia was actually properly timed, but just at that moment we lost Unknown Gamer as well on the Nomad, which put a lot of load onto Nani. Everybody seemed to be putting that one single pressure onto getting the Echo down. I must say they might have gotten a little tunnel vision, but at the same time that could have been an impactful kill if they had gotten it. So we're moving into the next round onto attack. We are seeing an ace in play. Now that's a questionable pick. Oh, thankfully it was the 6th pick off, so Exiled is safe. No worries there. But this is an interesting pick. They're bringing in the Iana. No, they're bringing in the Thermite. So just replacing the Hard Breacher, my mistake. I was actually getting excited for Iana because I do like Iana a lot. So this is a different loadout we've been seeing compared to what B5 was bringing. We're seeing a Capital, who we do know can only be countered by Wamai and does have the flushing of smokes and frags. We're seeing a Thermite, nothing new. You still need some sort of hard breach to take out the piano wall. We have the IQ because Echo is not banned. We do have Lego bringing the Ash because you need explosives and anti-fragging, and YF bringing the Zofia. Ash and Zofia, nothing new. IQ compulsory because of the Echo, and the other two are not something that we can bring. There's a lot of controversy, I would say, Pond, if you have come across our Reddit and on Twitter, though Twitter is a very cancerous platform, we'll not talk about that. I would say that there's a lot of controversy going on over Ace being eclipsing Hibana completely. I digress, saying that presence of Ace has pushed all of the hard breachers into situational roles where there are certain situations where each of them is stronger. Like say Thermite works better when you have either one single wall or a big garage wall. Hibana works great on this map because you don't have too much of hard breaching to take care of. You have more reliance on the hatches if you're going for the kitchen take or the 2F sites. And she still is the best entry fragger amongst all the three hard breaches. Maverick counts as more of a support hard breach who assists in the presence of other hard breaches. So
Wait. Did you say Hibana the better fragger out of the three?
personally, I would say yes.
I would disagree. Seeing as how Ace, even though Ace is a 2-speed, he does have that AK. He does have that AK, which is not even arguably, it is the best assault rifle in the game by every mean. I mean, recoil, high fire rate, high damage. But I think the really big thing is a lot of people have been complaining that Ace would take Hibana out of the meta or take Thermite out of the meta, which is actually really not the case. I mean, each operator has its own situation that you would be able to bring it. The real concern I find with the addition of Ace is while each of the hard breachers have a situation where you could use it, there is no situation where you wouldn't be right to bring a Ace. Ace is good for just about every single situation. I mean, his utility, amazing. I mean, like you get three slow acting, almost it's almost like having 3 Hibana pellets, but as I say that, Lego's gonna be take out Unknown Gamer, but nevertheless you have 3 essentially you have 3 sets of 3 Hibana pellets to open up walls. And even though Thermite does open up a bigger hole, and Hibana is still the queen of hatches, I'd argue that all of the hard breaches become situational, while Ace is really used for anything. But I'm going to talk a little bit about this round as Hazex just drops right into sight. Exiled, he's just clicking heads right now. As that's how Nanny flick shot is taken out by Lego, and it's going to be a 1v5. Essentially 1v4 with Equinum down, and it's all gonna be left onto Viper playing oh man, twisting up my words as everything's going on, playing from below. 8 seconds left in the round. Viper does not have his C4 as the plant goes down. It's going to be left in a 1v5 post-plant situation. Viper, the talented player we have seen, is going to need to make something happen out of this post-plant situation. He is needing to get the ace now. Very wonderfully done, pushing sight from the likes of Team Exiled. They saw an opening in their aggressive calls, always called for it, and Lego playing just right there takes out the likes of Viper, and that is going to be a round 1 by Team Exiled. Wonderfully executed attack in the end there. But as I was saying before, I believe with the introduction of Ace into the meta, Ace is one of those operators that you can bring no matter what. I mean, you can bring him for his gun and take him as a fragger, and you can take him for his smokes to help get plants down. And if you want to open up walls, you can. But he's not a situational operator. I would argue that what he does is he turns Thermite and Hibana into situational operators. Are they out of the meta? No. I mean, with the introduction to him to Pro League, I mean, even though we've seen him ban out on all but I think 2 maps, you still see Hibana being brought because just having 1 hard breacher is not enough. I'd argue it takes Thermite out of the meta a little bit more for most maps because with the introduction of his gadget, I mean, bringing him and a Hibana really, really does well on maps like Villa and maps like I'd argue he's still, or Habana still played a lot on Villa, played a lot on Clubhouse, but on maps like that I don't think he's as powerful on. I don't think he's as strong on Consulate, because if they impact trick his gadget on the garage wall, you do get a little bit of a view pushing in, or a little bit of a view going in, but because his gadget takes time to fully open up a wall, I don't think he is as strong. I think Malusi is a lot more over. I don't want to say overpowered, but more oppressive of an operator on defense than Ace is on attack. But there is no situation where you are going to be wrong to bring an Ace because of his gun and because of everything. But we are going to be moving on to the round, and I will let you start out with the calls coming in right now.
Yes, so thanks for that. That was a good chat, by the way. We might continue that later on. While we're at it, we have YF on the sledge going all the way up. He did get shot a bit by, if I'm not wrong, the MPX of Viper on the Valk. So some bit of early engagements coming on. This is a 3F defense. Ash here of Lego making his way quickly into. Oh, it's going to be an engagement. Oh, but Bandit. The Jaeger, my mistake, of Nani getting the kill onto Ash. The Jaeger-Ash rivalry ends right here. And this is the first pick coming in favor of V5, taking their vengeance on Exiled for taking the win last time. Nani gets his second kill onto Tor the Vice. That's the IQ and the Ash guns. That's Intel. That echoes the counter to Echo. And some explosives out of the equation. So we're going to have YF attempting to engage the Wamai. Oh, the Magnet does get the frag grenade. Just manages to move away. Quick point to be noted, magnets do reset the cooldown of the grenade, whatever grenade that may be. Sledge making his move slowly up towards Wamai. Wamai has retreated back into the bathroom, and I think that was the C4 that was there from below. Good vertical play coming in from V5. He did take some health off of Sledge. So we have YF doing a solo push onto the Wamai. And we're going to just, in moments, you might see who's going to be the victor of this engagement. While we're at it, we also have a backup angle coming in from the kite all the way from the freezer. I guess that's a freezer. Yeah, there's a freezer room holding towards the sledge. So even if Wamai does fall, you have the kite to claim the kill onto sledge, which still puts attack in a very difficult situation because they have only 50 seconds left. Hazex, the big influencer the previous round, is on a sliver of health. He might fall to just grazing the bandit electrified wall. We only have Thermite on the Equinox, who's still on full health. 35 seconds in, attack really needs to start being pushed because all 5 defenders are still on the board. And the first kill comes as a result of YF, but he does lose his opportunity and gets down. So Hazex has to go in and get the revive. This puts him into the direct crosshairs from Valkyrie unless he uses his smokes. And he does use his smokes. I guess no, the Wamai Magnet is there to save him. Valkyrie not noticing the foot of Sledge down, but he does get the pick. Hazex gets the refrag onto Viper, and defense eventually wins it out. Thermite treading straight into enemy line of fire. We finally see Echo being on his drone instead of on his 1.5 scope. Does get the Nostalgia getting the kill and closing the round. This was a quick win for defense. That was V5. And the round is back to 4-4. We have seen this game awesome. Is this once that we saw V5 taking the lead at 3-2, and now we're and ever since then it's just been oscillating back and forth to 4-4 and to 1 win for defense, 1 win for attack, and 4-4-4-4. So up onto the next round, we're seeing people make good use of Ace and Melusi, not allowed in this tournament, by using it as a 6th pick. So moving off onto the smoke, we are seeing a Jaeger, Smoke, Echo, Bandit, and Valkyrie combo. Having to defend Kitchen, I guess they have realized after the previous rounds that the push always comes down to the last 20 seconds, where Smoke is undeniably because Smoke, he delays upwards of 11 seconds of time, takes away a lot of health, and attack has no choice but to push into to either move away or push into the smoke clouds and get the damage. So this is a good roster we are seeing from V5. We are finally seeing Thatcher, who has been unbanned, just a quick reminder, who has been unbanned this entire game, finally seeing him back into play. This can definitely be useful in either disabling some of the echo drones towards the late round. So you might be seeing Exile saving up on the EMPs for later, then they're going in for the plants.
5 seconds to insertion.
Yeah, I like this lineup coming in right now from the defense. A lot of first-year operators with the likes of Bandit, Jaeger, and Smoke. Love to see Smoke being brought, but yeah, it has been a really back and forth game that we've seen so far. We see Virtual-5 go up, like we see Virtual-5 go up 1, and then Exiled's able to equalize. Then Exile goes up 1, and Virtual-5 is able to equalize it. It's been nothing but back and forth the entire game. And I think that really speaks to the fact both these teams are very evenly matched. But nevertheless, we are going to be going on to a guard defense this time around. It looks like the attack are droning out to potentially go for a bakery take, but I don't know if they droned out Nanny playing behind the bakery bar. They're probably just assuming it with all the utility in there, and that being a very common hold point. But a lot of vertical hold coming in, not a lot of vertical hold, my apologies, a lot of horizontal holding. We have Smoke playing over in VIP, we have Viper playing over in, I believe, Coats, and we have one player behind there in the bakery behind the bakery bar. But nevertheless, HazeX decides, I'm not going to care about that. I'm just going to go right in for the kill as he takes out Nanny playing behind Bakery, and that gives an opportunity for Bakery control for this attack. As the likes of Unknown Gamer fully reinforces off that wall and places down his bandit charges to prevent the Thermite from getting anything, and Nostalgia rotates back into sight to help prevent the push coming in from Bakery, as the attackers have really just gained all the control they want. Thermite able to get his charge down, but he's going to be bandit tricked by the likes of Bandit as they do gain that control, but nothing else from it. And the second charge taken out. Oh my gosh, very wonderful play there coming in from Unknown Gamer. That says a lot of people know a nice little year 2 strat of the times of the bandit tricking, and his headset and gamer chair coming in clutch, helping him hear out those bandit charges and getting the likes of the luck, taking out any control that they really can't establish from Bakery. You need to open up those walls to open into kitchen, and he's not able to do so. This, even though they're left at a man disadvantage, they're going to be left in a, my apologies, they're going to be left in a very good situation as two people try and push down those that brown staircase, but Viper able to get 2 kills playing behind Whiskey, not drone out, thinking the only one was coming in from VIP, but the player in VIP is able to get out YF from Team Peaked. They're going to be left in a 3v1 situation as Viper clears up HazeX, but nevertheless, Nostalgia clears it up, taking out Equinum, and we are going to be seeing a lead come in here from Virtual-5.
Really, they are going relatively back and forth. I would say we're just at 5-4 right now. It could definitely be a 5-5 or a 6-4. You never know. But regardless, both teams are working out to be equally matched opponents. I did notice that there was a severe lack of intel coming in from the side of Exile, as if at every given step, all they needed to know was at least try to drone out that place. Even if the drone gets shot, that is some intel for you. So it did seem that Exile was either Exile was not making the best use of the intel they had, or V5 was doing a good job at denying the intel. Credit to whoever did whatever here, but regardless, I must say V5 did a good job at choking them, even if it was Ash moving down the smaller red stairs, or if it was Thatcher moving down the hallway. At any given point, whoever did get killed, whoever was at the verge of getting killed on defense, there was always somebody to refrag for them. So claps on the board for V5 for taking the lead and having a really solid, near impenetrable defense. We are moving all the way up to a 2F defense, and you're typically going to see 3F, some reinforcements and some positioning happen in 3F as well. Maybe a bit of barbed wire, a bit of ADSs, as you can see there, holding off the hallways, trying to delay time. So the whole of defense works on trying to delay the push onto site as much as possible, either deny hatches or deny some sort of push coming in on the hallways. So
Attackers objective is
V5
to
going
locate a
up
bomb
to a
and
defense.
defuse it.
We're about to see the round has
Attackers
started,
dropped the
and we
diffuser.
will see how this plays out.
Attackers recovered
Yeah.
the diffuser.
It's a very interesting third floor hold. We're going to be seeing a little bit of a switch up coming in here from the likes of Team Exiled, as they're going to be opting to bring Equinom on that Yana and YF on the Blackbeard, as we are probably going to be seeing our first engagement coming in here. As, oh man, that Blackbeard seems to be suppressed. He knows the meta. As he sees the head of I don't even know the player that's going to be roaming on that staircase right there. Nevertheless, he's gonna be just flicking back and forth, and flash grenade coming in as Flickshot rotates back up, has the bearing 9 out, and they're just going back and forth with this engagement. Flickshot seeing him for one brief second. Flashbangs coming out, a little bit stunned, but Flickshot able to shoot right through that shield and take out YF, but Tao the Vice at the same time takes out Viper, and Haze X is down. That's going to be a little bit problematic for the likes of Team Exiled, as Haze X has done a lot for the team, but nevertheless, he's going to be brought back up, and it's going to be a 4-4. Flickshot and Haze at little HP, but Flickshot going to be taken out there from Equinom. That's going to be White Stairs control given up very early, as we are going to be seeing Laundry held here by the likes of Nanny, potentially trying to get the player who rotates up White Stairs, and a very strong east hold from the defense here, but Equinom's going to try and rotate around to Brown Stairs, as the attack are attempting to gain control of third floor. Any roamers playing up here could be the demise, but no, it's going to be a C4 from below from Unknown Gamer, as he equalizes out everything, taking out Haze X. That's a lot of utility coming out from the attack, but nevertheless, they are going to be continuing to try and get this first floor cleared, as Tao is going to be potentially communicating with his team right now how they're going to want to get this attack down, as an engagement's going to be coming in right here from Nostalgia and Tao the Vice. Nostalgia getting the better of it, leaving the attackers at a 2, have one man down disadvantage, and Nostalgia getting the second kill as Equinom rotates in. It's all going to be left on to Lego, as Nostalgia's rotate, netting a lot for the defense, but Lego able to find Nanny, rotates down into Laundry, is going to rotate into Reading, knows that there's a player playing on the Reading door. I don't know if he knows exactly where. Him getting this plant down is going to be the audio cue Unknown needs to rotate in and take out Lego. That's going to be another round 1 for Virtual-5, and it leaves Virtual-5 on match point.
Finally, we have seen a decisive lead coming in. That's a 2-point lead over Exiled, all the way from V5. That Hibana could have actually gotten the round very well. Just a 90-degree turn around that pillar, and if the smoke had died, the Hibana could have gotten the planned Hibana. I guess that was off Lego. Yeah, that was Lego's Hibana could have gotten the plant down, and we might have just seen a retake that had to happen from the Wamai that was still roaming on the top floor. So we have 6-4. We are finally seeing this. We're slowly coming towards the end of the first match. We're starting to see which side is slightly better, but the round could go anyway. The match is not over yet. And what we are seeing now, however, is a rather unconventional pick coming in. Not unconventional, but somebody who has fallen off the meta, rip his frags. We have Buck coming into play. So I guess they're looking for, knowing fully well that this is a 3F, Exiled is looking for some vertical play so that they can flush the defenders into some of the more vulnerable positions. Buck coming in, we might see some flashes because that's useful to take off the grenades, because you do have level anti-grenades on defense. Meanwhile, the rest of the layout seems the same. YF coming into Thatcher, Tao the Vice at IQ, useful against the Echo, and Equinom on Thermite. Haze X performing really well on the Capita, both as an entry frag and a support. So we're about to see a relatively different combination. You generally have the Ash, who is the entry fragger and the person to carry the flashes to burn the ADS, but here you have the Lego taking the job on the Buck. Defense has the same loadout as before. I guess Valk is looking for the Valk of Viper is looking for the typical late round plant denial by using the C4s, getting the necessary intel into whoever is going for the plants. And the push starting in at 2 minutes 40 seconds.
Yeah, and I do want to point out right now that Exiled had opted to go opted to not bring anybody to clear out any shields and clear out any utility. They don't have any long-range utility clearing, and I mean, the only shields they're really gonna have to worry about are is the shield playing on Pixel, but they have nothing to deal with these castle barricades. The 6-pick on the castle was very well done because it was brought, and none of the utility that the attackers have. They don't have any hard, or my apologies. They don't have any my apologies. They do not have any long range utility. They do have, I believe, breaching charges from Tal the Bice or from YF, but they don't have any long range ability to take care of any of those shields. So, or those my apologies, those castle barricades. But nevertheless, they're going to very quickly push into piano here, and the C4 coming from below, not netting anything, but the Wamai disc able to get rid of that, able to get rid of one of those 4 Thatcher grenades. His flick shot on the castle is able to get the first kill, and Nostalgia able to get the next kill. My apologies, Unknown Gamer able to get the next kill into YF. That's going to be the denial denied, as Thatcher is going to be taking the board very early on, making it a little bit harder for Equinome to open up any of these walls, as he is going to be holding this bathroom very, very intently, as we did get to see, I believe that was the hard breach gadget opening up a small hole there. Nevertheless, Tal the Bice is going to be trying to get control over the inbound, but it's going to be a 3v5. You can never count out Team Exiled left in a man disadvantage, but even still, the defenders are holding where they want to. Thermite charge opening up freezer, potentially getting some more control for the attack, as Hazex is able to start to equalize things out, getting Nostalgia off very early on. That is a very good pick, because those Echo drones would be able to get late round plant denial, but the diffuser still being left onto the roof with 23 seconds left in the round. They won't have the time to go and get it, as Tal the Bice is able to get out Viper, and Hazex able to clear out Unknown Gamer. It's going to be left in a 2v2. They just need to prevent this plant from coming in, as they don't have the diffuser. They don't know where these attackers are playing. Flickshot playing from below to potentially deny it, but not bringing that diffuser could be their demise, as Tao is able to get Flickshot. It's all going to be left. Can they find Nanny? They can't, and the diffuser is going to win on time, as the diffuser was left on the roof. They had the control they needed, but weren't able to make anything happen out of it. That is going to be our first map won by Virtual-5. We will be going on to Clubhouse next to see if Virtual-5 is able to either equalize out or is able to clear out everything in a 2-0 fashion, or, as it is going to be Team Exiled's pick, are they going to be able to equalize everything out and to see our last map of Villa?
So wonderful play there by V5. The Jaeger of V5 going in for the save towards the end, not going in for any silly engagements. So smart plays there. Credit where it's due. I must say, towards the end, it was a 2v4 in favor of V5, while Exiled was at 2, and it was really close to it's actually close to either side getting the win. Good spot, by the way. It was the hard breach gadget indeed that opened the wall, which allowed them to make the push into the side. We're finally seeing how the hard breach gadget can come into use in certain situations, which is again pretty good. You don't need something to be one size fits all. Rather, you would have strong in certain situations, which allows for some balanced gameplay. Talking more about the round, very well done. Great. What we are noticing is Exile does have very good gunplay. Even when things look south, Exile does seem to be bringing it back just by going in for the right engagements at the right time. Good games and good gunplay combination does bring it back into their favor. It was a 2v2, 2v1, and eventually the Jaeger going in for a good save towards the round, knowing fully well that they don't have the diffuser, because if they did, they would have started planting and he would have gotten the sound cue. So claps on the board for V5, winning the first map onto Cafe. I guess I was right. I think I did predict that Cafe would go to V5, and indeed it was V5's map. I think it was V5's map, yes. So V5 winning their map pick. Next we're up into Clubhouse, which is Exiled's pick.
Yes, and before we go on to this next map, we are going to be going to a quick 5-minute break. We will be back momentarily to cast this next wonderful match. It is going to be Team Exiled's pick of Clubhouse in with V5 up 1-0.
And I've been chillin', watching the ocean with you. Baby, up with a slow motion crew. And we up in our growlings when people change, but not us. And we just chillin', kicking it, kissed by the sun. Could be soaked to the skin in the mall soon. I know she got the good vibes when seasons change, but we're the same. Even if I lost all my money, the zero runs deep, honey. And I don't need to speak a single word, 'cause you got me holding, holding. Even if my jokes aren't funny, my tongue tied up on it. And I don't need to speak a single word, 'cause you got me holding, holding. 'Cause you got me holding. Even if my jokes aren't funny, my tongue tied up on it. And I don't need to speak a single word, 'cause you got me holding, holding. 'Cause you got me holding.
All right, welcome back, everybody. We are going to be moving on to our next match of the day. It is going to be on next match. My apologies. Next map of the day. It's going to be Clubhouse. This is going to be Team Exiled's pick. and we saw a very impressive showing from Virtual-5, but it was a back and forth game. I really think Clubhouse could be anybody's. I really think Exiled can take this. But it is going to be their pick. But Virtual-5 coming off of a very hot victory. Again, I don't necessarily believe in that teams getting momentum and momentum rising and dying. I think that it really just matters on how you play. And I think that if Exile comes out right now, I think that they really could dominate it. We've seen them dominate this map in the past. Nevertheless, we're going to be starting out with Virtual-5, the first ban. Forge, we've seen every ban from the $2 to the wazoo. What do you think we're going to be getting today on the ban phase?
Nothing new. 100% nothing new. I'm gonna say Thatcher and or say Maverick, and then there's going to be Mira and say Valk. I don't. At this point, I think all teams have deciphered that there's a trend in banning. You're going to always want to ban these operators because these are the operators that either you're going to play. Jackal, okay, not slightly different from before, but again, nothing new. On again, you're going to see Mira or Echo or Maestro on defense is what I'm saying here, because at this point, people have realized that these are strong ops. These are undeniably strong. Better to get them out of the equation and focus on what you're best at. Because at this stage, I don't think too many people, any of these teams want to take the risk on trying something outlandish. The high risk, high reward factor is always going to be there in this game, but at this point, nobody wants to take the high risk because you never know which way it is going to swing. So Echoes on the board, fourth one being Clash. Okay, maybe. It's the same as before. I guess the whoever's banned, my mistake, chat. The team that banned Clash does not want to invest on any utility in taking them out, even though we have seen Capitol being in play, who is a direct counter to Clash. So standard bans, I would say, is the standard sample space of bans being taken out and put over here. And we are going to be moving on to the first round. Bandit, Smoke, Valk, Maestro, and Jaeger. Another set of operators that you would generally see on this side. They are starting off with the Church Arsenal, not an SSG hold like we had spoken last time. Too many teams are not wanting to try the SSG hold. We might see it as a strat shuffle coming in later, but for now, they're just going for the standard hold off tunnel, hold off blue, and make sure they don't make it down the main stairs onto site.
Yeah, nothing super surprising coming in from the operator bans. I don't
Protect your bombs from being
know how much I agree with the Jackal ban there. I think Maverick's a lot more powerful of an operator on Clubhouse, because the roaming is very easily clear. Like you're very easily able to clear out a lot of the roaming with drone work. This map's been, I mean, even after its rework, it's still been a very linear map, and clearing out top floor roaming, I mean, Jackal doesn't do a whole ton to help with that. Nevertheless, we are going to be going on to a Church defense, and I'm assuming they are going to try and hold blue. A little bit of a missed shot there on the drone. Hopefully Nostalgia can pick up that aim. Moving on to the round, but we are going to be seeing a little bit more of a common thing. And yeah, I kind of want to talk a little bit about the SSG hold and why we see a lot of it. A lot of teams will bring the SSG hold thinking that it will be, for those of you who don't know, the SSG hold is playing a Castle, Mozzie, Mute, and Vigil, having a 3-man roam upstairs, opening up the Moto hatch and placing your castles upstairs to prevent crossfires from coming in from the main lobby. The issue with the SSG hold is you're required to rotate back into to the site when they either gain control of blue or open up tunnel, because teams, when they see the SSG hold come in, they'll decide, all right, looks like the SSG hold's going to be coming out here, we're just going to opt to rush the site. And I'd say out of the 10 times we've seen the SSG hold be played, it has netted 1 or 2 victories. I mean, teams will just rush the site, gain immediate control. It has to be a off-site retake from the attackers, and that never really nets very well. But we are going to be seeing this round move on, as Lego is going to be trying to push down these main stairs, but he's going to have to be careful, because a C4 coming in from the likes of not from the likes of a C4 coming in from anybody playing in Church. Could net him in early death. Also, the peaks coming in from Church would also make it a lot more challenging for them to take it. Nevertheless, they are not going to be opting to go for any roaming, which is going to be their demise, as the first kill is going to be coming in here from HazeX onto Nanny, but quickly equalized out, as we are going to be seeing Nostalgia and Flickshot go out, but Tau being able to be taken out before all that goes down. Unknown Gamer taken out by HazeX, a triple kill coming in from here. A huge impact play coming as the diffuser goes down. A 4v1 post-plant situation, as Viper is going to be playing on this Moto Hatch. Going to be able to click one head from Equinam as he's going to rotate down, I believe, to the kitchen hatch. Not an easy situation to win. He's going to have to equalize things out. Those missed shots not helping him out as much, but nevertheless, he knows the location of some of these attackers. Able to clear out YF, drops the kitchen hatch. C4 goes out. C4 not able to net anything, and he's going to be taken out very quickly there by Lego. The plant going down and very wonderfully won by Team Exiled, gaining very early control of Church, making it a lot easier for them to take this round. As my co-caster, I don't know, is in the booth right now. We are going to be waiting
I'm
for...
back.
Oh, my apologies.
Yeah, my apologies. Something crashed over here, and I was not particularly happy about that. Unfortunately, I was logged out mid-game, but I did manage to catch some of the action. That was really good play that we did see towards the end. Exile, I guess, getting their first win. That was a good opening win, I guess. So I think I'll hand it over to Pond right now until I get some of the issues here fixed. So, but still, claps on the board for Exile.
All right, back to me. It looks like we're going to be going to CCTV. It's usually everybody's... We see teams either have Church as their primary bomb site or CCTV as their primary bomb site. Two very common bomb sites to hold. Because they didn't win that Church round, they're opting to kind of switch things up, try and go for something a little bit new. Nothing super unusual on the likes of the operator lineups. The hold, I'm assuming, is going to be Nostalgia playing over in Nostalgia going to be playing over onto that catwalk, with the rotate hold going from catwalk into CC to prevent that push from the main wall. On the likes of the attack, though, they aren't going to be opting to bring any they are not going to opt for that much hard breach. We aren't going to be seeing the hard breach gadget at all, as none of the operators they're going to be bringing have the option of using the hard breach gadget, and Equinam is going to be the only hard breach they have with the Habana, which is not necessarily ideal for opening up that CC wall, but they potentially might be going for a take in construction, as there is not going to be any utility on the wall currently. We might be able to see Viper do a nice little bandit trick, as we had seen last time, getting to the thermite charges when the attack on Cafe. But as the round is moving on, it looks like YF is going to be trying to get a peek from that little drone hole right there. He sees the player playing over on red. He's going to make that call, letting his team know that there's a player playing over there. But I gotta say, it is a little bit more interesting of a hold from the attack. But they are going to be going for that construction take, as HazeX getting the opening kill yet again onto Flickshot, and he's going to be making it a lot more easier for not a lot more easier. He's going to make it easier for the attack to gain some control here, as he's just going to be holding an angle as his team sets it up. A second kill coming out. That's Unknown Gamer, as Lego is able to get another kill onto Nanny, as HazeX is going to be taken out by Viper, but it's already going to be left in a 1v4. Early picks coming in as the fragging comes out. Tau the Bice able to get that last kill into Nostalgia, and that is going to be a second round won by the attack. Early aggression coming in, netting a lot for the attack here. As Forge is going to be fixing his setup, a very wonderful round one there. A very wonderful round one there from the attack. They seem to be just getting aggressive very early on, even though they didn't have the hard breach that they had wanted. They didn't really need it. I mean, they were able to clear out the players playing from below, clear out the player onto catwalk, And that early control and construction really opened up a lot for the attack. It really thins out the defense. It forces the player on red to not only hold red, but then he now has to hold the construction door, as construction is one of those areas where if the attackers gain control of that and you have no
Attackers need
flank
to
ability,
locate and defuse the bombs if they can.
a construction plan, I'd argue, is a lot more viable than the traditional default plan in the CC bomb. We are going to be going back to the church bomb site, and we're going to be seeing a very similar lineup coming in here from the defense. The only difference being is we're going to be seeing Flickshot playing on the Legion. And I don't know about anybody else out there, but I think the issue with the division of that 1.5 times site has made that T5 just an absolute nightmare to play against and an absolute dream to play with. I mean, I've personally been playing him a lot more in my ranked matches, and I think my ranked KD throughout this round, or throughout this season with just Legion alone, has been something like a 3.1, because that site just makes that T5 so much nicer. Nevertheless, to talk a little bit more about the round, we got to see Flickshot attempt to get the illegal run out in, not able to get any kills out of it. Very good for him. Actually, I think the run out was okay, as he had waited 5 seconds to run out, which is why I don't think he was able to see anybody out there. The attackers are going to be droning out this, they're going to be droning out this main stairs and attempting to potentially open up, my apologies, attempting to potentially open up that kitchen hatch earlier on in the round rather than later. On terms of the attack, I do want to say we are going to be seeing a Cali pick, potentially to hold a long angle over in blue, but Cali doesn't necessarily need any of this utility to take any of the hatches, as we aren't going to be seeing the Kaidi brought. Haze X able to get open this main stairs, and I don't know if they necessarily have the call that Haze X is playing at main stairs, as the defenders, my apologies, are really just going to be holding their positions, holding blue and holding dirt, and trying to stop that kitchen hatch from getting opened, as I believe that impact trick was successful, so we aren't going to be seeing the kitchen hatch open at all, as Flickshot is going to be rotating to church, and it could be led to an early death to that grenade, but no, not able to make anything happen out of that. No, Nostalgia is going to be down by the grenade, but brought up very quickly by Flickshot. No aggression is able to clear up that kill, as points are off, and they did not know the down came in.
So finally I'm back on the board, and while we're at it, Equinom gets the kill on the Flickshot. Flickshot in turn gets the kill on the Hazel. So that's the sledge, and I guess one frag out of the board, while we also have the Legion out of the board. So I think at this stage we're getting some damage onto the Bandit near the AK rack. So at 35 seconds left with 4v4, it could throw anyway, but the hatch has just been opened. We are seeing the Kali being made good use of. At the Bias gets the kill on Nostalgia and gets another kill onto Nani. The IQ clearly working out well, IQ working out well for a third time, and then we have Equinov, the Hibana, pulling off the bearing line to get wiped. That's Exile getting their third round in a row. They are looking a lot cleaner than they were in the first game. So claps on the board again for Exile, and they have reached 3-0, taking a 3-0 lead into the stage, into the halfway point of the first half. So, a quick point, Bond. You were right. The 1.5 on the T5 has made it a lot stronger. I know sights are fundamentally personal preference, but having the ability to have range versatility on a gun that already has low recoil and high fire rate makes it best for anything. It's the literal one size fits all. You can fight attack, you can fight defenders, even if you want to. Let's just hope we don't. But at this stage, Legion is looking really strong because you have a lot of options on the board to do what you want with him. Even though you can't see the goo mines yourself, you still have undeniable sound intel coming in. So no matter where you place your goo mines, you always know that you are going to be of benefit to the team. So we did see Legion get picked off when we still had 45 seconds, but by then all of the goo mines were already in place. Legion had already done most of his job. Regardless, Attack had a good, Exiled had a good push, getting the picks at the right time, opening the right angles. There was an early down onto the Maestro, which also helped delay defense as Attack made the push closer towards site. So at 3-0 point, we are seeing Church Arsenal being played once again. This looks really similar to the SSG hold. The only difference is you don't have a castle, you have a Jaeger brought in place, which is also one of SSG's variations of their own infamous hold. So we are about to see whether this is going to help or not. What we are seeing from Exile is they're going for a variation of being in Lion. This, I must say, is not something you would see very often, because when Lion is definitely one of the powerful operators available to attack, he's not best placed in this meta because you have a lot of utility to take off and Lion doesn't really have much. He is bringing the flashes to counter some of the ADS, which can work out well in his favor, but ooh, just Sledge almost, his is losing some health, almost getting the kill onto landing some shots on Viper by being put at half health. At the 2-minute mark, we are starting to see pushes coming in. We see YF that is out, the Lion is dead, and yet we have some push being made by Equino slowly upwards. The Lego, the Ash gets the kill onto Viper. That's the Mozzie finally pulled off the board. It's a 4v4 at the 2-minute mark.
Yeah, and as we say that, it looks like, I believe that is flick shot on the Jaeger taking out Lego, and not a lot has been able to happen on the terms of the attack. And this is exactly what you want to see out of the SSG style roam. Delaying the attack as much as possible, trying to push them to only 30 seconds left. If you're able to roam for long enough to only give them 30 seconds left, that's the way to go. But Nanny's able to take out Hazex, quickly traded out by Tau the Vice, but it's all going to be left onto Tau and Equinom, two very strong players, and Tau on that G8 has just been an absolute animal. But they are going to have to start making their push down to the site. The roam game coming up very, very strong for them, as the impact trick is not able to work and the kitchen hatch is going to be opened up. But as long as they're able to have one person prevent the kitchen hatch and one person to prevent a drop from, I believe, Moto hatch, they are going to be able to come up maybe a little bit more successful, but they aren't going to opt for the hatch. They're going to opt to have Equinom try and push into dirt. I believe some of the Legion traps are over here in dirt, so as soon as they get that audio cue, it's going to be a push coming in from the defense, but it seems like they're going to try and go for a double push, one in dirt, one pushing down the main hatch. Nevertheless, the smoke is going to be able to deny this push in dirt for as long as possible. A gunfight just teasing right now, as we're going to be seeing Equinom and Unknown Gamer not knowing where either one is at. Equinom with the able to get the first shot, but no, not able to take him out, as it's going to be all left onto Tau, pushing from that kitchen hatch. He's got 3 people knowing his position. He's going to try and play in the back of Armory, but not able to make anything happen out of it. Nostalgia is able to clean up that round, and that is going to be the first round won here by the defense.
V5 finally opening their account. They're going to a 3-1 situation. Still, Exile looking much better than before. Exile looking in the lead, but V5 slowly coming back up. We have finally seen the SSG hold do something. I mean, SSG hold be beneficial to defense after, I mean, the last time it happened was the first or second game. So it's been a long time since this hold has worked this tournament, and it has worked really well. The smoke, the combination of a shield and smoke with a shotgun in close range on tunnel really did impact Hibana a lot, because the Hibana was left in the last 15 seconds having to take out the smoke, whoever was watching in from Church and was watching in from Arsenal. So it was really a tight spot that Exile had gotten themselves into. The hold working out well for V5, but towards the end we did see V5 getting out. Now we are moving on to Cash and CCTV. We are just seeing we're seeing some variations in the hold. We have Valve being brought in for the extra intel. I guess in this situation the C4s from Viper's Bandit and Nanny's Valve are going to go for the late round plant denials. It's pretty sure that you are going to see Wamai with his shield hold off the catwalk, because Wamai is the only anti-grenade operator with the shield, and he works best when you're holding off catwalk. The 1.5 on the MPX, I'm assuming he did bring, Ostrache did bring the the MP5K, my mistake.
5 seconds to
It
insertion.
works very good for holding those tight, slim, near uncontestable angles all the way onto the entrance of garage.
Locate a bomb and defuse it.
And we do see Nani placing on one of his cams in garage, providing some of the intel coming in from areas that Nostalgia can't cover while hiding behind the shield. Oh, my mistake. Nostalgia is going for the construction, right? The shield going in for construction. So we are going to see a slightly riskier hold from Catwalk. But Catwalk has always favored defense more than attack. Even after the clubhouse buff that we saw a year ago, which blocked off the slim angles between the pillars, not the pillars, the frames of the Catwalk walls, taking off the line of sight. It's still a Herculean task for attack to take on, because you have to clear out the anti-grenade utility and then the defender hiding there, and you always have somebody holding the angle from either soda machine or from servers. That is assuming the wall is not open yet. But we are seeing Zofia of YF already making his way up on the catwalk. So catwalk has not been defended very well. This might just be an easy wall open for Exiled. The rest of the team is making for a push towards construction, and we have Hibana attempting to go for the wall opening. Hibana being the sole heart breacher here, rather than the thermite. Okay, so they're just going for lines of sight and making the push happen from the garage and the catwalk.
Yeah, and as the round is moving on a little bit, the diffuser is going to be left outside. Exiled, this came to their demise a round before. I'm hoping someone picks this up. But Unknown Gamer is going to be holding the top of the staircase. I don't necessarily agree with that decision. I don't like the smoke playing on top red. Nevertheless, Nanny getting his first pick onto YF, and a very good pick coming in, as YF is one of the entries. And my apologies, the Zofia is able to make a lot happen later on the round, but they only have a minute. They only have, my apology, 52 seconds left in the round. They haven't established any sort of control so far. They're still worried about these flanks, and the flanks being the end of them, as Viper is able to flank up and get that kill onto Hazex. You're going to be left in a 3v5 -1, so 5v2, and they have yet to establish any sort of control. They're going down to grab the diffuser now, but without any reasonable way to plant this diffuser. No, Lego's going to be left on site, but as he's trying to commit from below and above, he's going to, Unknown Gamer's going to take him out. Equinom able to clear up something and make it a 5v4, but he's just going to be left in the smoke. Smoke just has to be able to deny that window right now with this smoke grenades. Not much that Equinom can do, and unless some rogues can come in right now, nope, team kill coming in, there's nothing able to do. This round is going to be lost by Exile. Very wonderfully held by the defense there. That's what, and this is something that the defense had to do. They realized it early on, and they've done it. They needed to establish a roam game, and as soon as they did that, this has been it. I mean, we saw it on Church. They were able to use their roam game. It wasn't the necessary SSG style roam, but their roam game was able to delay the attack a ton, and without being able to with the attack not clearing out the roaming, they were taken early on with an early pick from the roamers. Then it forced them late into the round to try and clear out those roamers. But at that point, a minute 30 was already gone, and they're spending a minute to try and clear out the roamers. And at that point, you haven't established any control, haven't established any point of attack onto the site. There isn't much you can do at that point. And I think that if they do establish a strong roam game, I think that they can come out 3-3 here on the defensive split. I think that they've done a very good job at adjusting. But Team Exiled, I mean, you can't count them out. They're probably one of the more talented frag heavy teams, but they're gonna have to make a more solid effort pushing that site a little bit quicker. We saw them very convincing those first 3 rounds, and they'll just slow down and stagnate out a little bit right now, but I think they can clean it up. Nevertheless, we are going to be moving on now to a gym. Defense, as they have cleared their primary and secondary bomb sites.
So it's a little confusing in the previous rounds, because YF of Zofia did get the control of Catwalk really quickly, and yet attack did fall off really hard. I'm guessing the flank watch should have been their priority, at least At this stage, Exiled, they might have just one attack round left, but at this stage, it would have been a better option to bring in a Nomad, unless a Nomad is banned, because that part got disconnected for me. Uh, Regardless, some flank control would have been more beneficial at this stage. But now we are seeing, after 5 rounds, a Mira being brought into the stage. Because Mira we have seen in the past pretty strong on the clubhouse, on the gym bedroom side, because you have the bathroom, which is a relatively strong, safe spot for Mira to hold off the jacuzzi entrance from. The jacuzzi is going to get opened by the thermite, and we are going to start seeing the push happen slowly. Kai not working. Kai not really holding off that wall wing, but I guess that was not their focus in this case, because even if you do get the wall open, you have to face off the Mira head on, which is not the best option at this stage. Thankfully, Todd the Vice does have Hibana, so we might see him pull off, taking out the Mira window with Hibana. So, as it stands, Hezex on the sledge is putting in some pressure from the gym all the way into bedroom. There, unlike a typical hold, you don't see too many, you don't see a rotation hold here, but we have seen Viper get the C4 kill onto Lego, and that's Thatcher out of the board. Very early on, that's a very influential, that's impactful frag right now. With 1 minute 33 seconds, that is very well done. Hezex is already moving, he's attempting to rush, but he does get killed off by the Mira. Yes, Mira and the ETA 12S shotgun doing his job. That's a 5v3. We still have the rest of defense hold waiting outside. An unusually long time taken, but gets ended immediately. It's already in a 5v1. It's all up to Equinom of the Thermite to attempt to do something while standing outside Jacuzzi wall. 1 minute left. There isn't much going to be that he can do. Flickshot does get the final kill. Virtual-5 wins this, equalizing the score to a 3-3. Mira with the 1.5 is really strong right here. But an all-out team effort from V5, getting this down to a 3-3 at the midway stage. It's going to be a round swap to see Exiled on defense right now.
Yeah, and I do want to say that was a flawless round there from the defense. My apologies, as they are now on attack. But very, very well done. I really liked the setup that they had. And Hazex pushing in, if he was able to clear out that mirror, I think the round would have swung the other way, but he was not able to. They weren't able to establish really, and that's exactly what I had mentioned before. The attack wasn't able to establish any control. They weren't able to set up they weren't able to set up a solid attack, and not clearing out those roamers, not clearing out the players in CC, clearing out the players in cash. It went to their demise in the end there. I mean, it was them trying to push the site when ignoring the steps in order to take control of the site. So we are going to be moving on to defense. And Exiled is a very talented defensive team, so we could be seeing this going back and forth. But Virtual-5 taking 3 straight rounds, making those late adjustments that they need to in order to win the game. Our first site that we are going to see today is going to be not the first site we're going to see today. First site we're going to see in this half is going to be the Church Arsenal defense, and it looks like with what they have going on right now, they are going to be trying to go possibly to establish a roam game with Hazex. Nothing uncommon coming out of here with the likes of the attackers. I mean, you see the 2 hard reaches, and you see the 2 hard reaches with the likes of Hibana and Thermite. You see the vertical control, or the vertical player and soft destruction coming with Flickshot, and then you have the entries of Sophia and Ash. Usually don't like talking about a lot of the operator lineups, but just noting that out coming here. And it does look like Hazex will be playing over Rafters and will be trying to establish some sort of a roam game, as the defenders are going to be going for a very quick take here of dirt. As the dirt wall is opened up, I'm assuming they're going to be having somebody come out here to drone him out. Hearing, my apologies, my stream cut out there for 1 second, but as we are going to be seeing the drone coming down, it doesn't look like they are going to be having anybody holding that dirt, area as the soft destruction comes in. They're able to get anybody holding the bottom of dirt, and they are going to be opening up that kitchen hatch. Control is being established, but they aren't going to be going for that roam game. So if Hazex is able to make something happen out of that, this could be a very, very good round for the defense. And as we say that, they are going to have a C4 right there, catching anybody as they try and rotate in. And the C4 goes off, but nothing's able to net out of it.
Attackers have
As
located
now
bomb.
there are a bunch of holes opened up here. It's gonna be a nightmare to try and hold this arsenal. They're gonna have to open up some holes to try and stop the push. But as I say that, YF from Peak sees the guy, not able to make anything happen out of it. As Nanny is able to get that kill, main stairs control has been established. You aren't going to have to worry about right now YF on the YF playing that mute, but the C4 is down, so not able to make anything happen out of it. And Hayes X coming in right now for the rotate, but I don't think he realizes, as right now they do have Unknown Gamer. Unknown Gamer is going to be trying to cut down that flank. As he sees Hayes X pushing, he's going to make the call, so nothing able to happen out of it. But as I say that, Unknown Gamer is going to be able to get that diffuser down, as two very quick kills are able to come in real quick. A lot of things are happening right now, as it's going to be essentially a 3v2. Tau the Bice is going to be down on the site. Viper holding dirt. Lego trying to clear out one of them. He's able to clear out Unknown Gamer, but with Tau still down, it's still going to be effectively a 2v2. He's going to try and long arm this defuse right now. The defenders are going to hear that. They are going to get him from the hatch. Not able to make anything happen. It's going to be a 1v1. Hayes X pushing onto the site, but Viper flipping over to the pistol, clearing out Hayes X, and that's going to be the attackers taking the first round on this half. 4-3 so far of the likes of Virtual-5.
So a flurry of kills coming in for that short duration. It was rather slow at the start. A nice angle held by that Thermite, though he did lose his life eventually to Hazix on the Mozzie. Hazix is doing a pretty decent job. Something we did not notice in the previous round was the Mozzie, rather than bringing the typical C4, was bringing the barbed wire. I'm assuming he attempted to have an offsite hold, or maybe provide more of sound intel towards either tunnel or the blue stairs, but towards the end, that was not the preferable push. It was only Ash going for the solo push through tunnels. Did eventually make into sight to back up the diffuser in case it were to be taken out. Good retake prevention there by the Hibana from the hatch by Unknown Gamer. An early on plant when it was still a 3v3. That was a slightly risky take, but it did work out in the end. So P5 looking like they are on a return streak, going from 0-3 all the way up to 4-3. So that is pretty good seeing that. The next round, we're not seeing anything revolutionary again. Flick shot on the sledge, Thermite, Nostalgia on the Thermite, being brought in by the Unknown Gamer, and the other two are the typical entry frag, soft reaching operators. A similar setup we're seeing on defense, but we are seeing the dock at the moment. So I don't think you guys are going to be seeing any dock spawn peaks, but this might be a backup operator in case somebody were to go for a roam and then come back with running low on health. It might be useful. So towards the end, we are going to see at the round start the same church defense, similar defense, but an alibi and a dock in case of the previous selection of operators.
Yeah, and so right now we are going to be moving on, and I believe they are going to be going for a very similar operator lineup, but right now, as we are going to be seeing Hayes X trying to make something happen out of that roam game, he's not able to. Unknown Gamer able to clear him up. Maybe a little bit of revenge for that last kill last time, as they are going to be trying to establish some very early control in kitchen, as Flickshot is going to take some damage from Flickshot's going to be able to take some damage from Unknown Gamer. Nevertheless, it isn't going to be too much to their detriment, as the only C4 they really have to worry about is the C4 coming from Tau the Vice, but Tau is going to be playing upstairs, so they should be able to really open up that wall right now. I don't think that they know that Tau is playing up here, so a late round flank could be something we potentially see, as they do have that dirt push open for them, and they are going to be rotating Flickshot over to potentially hold that.
So the tunnel push coming in here, Tower the Bice, like you mentioned, does get a sneaky shot onto the solo stairs hold that he was holding. That's Nanny of the equation. Nanny has been pretty good this game. both as an entry fragger and a utility removal. The grenade doing some damage there, but it's not going to take much out of them. That's a 4v4 tunnel push, still a dedicated tunnel push still coming in from both Viper and Flickshot. We do have Lego, who's taken a back seat back into side. Unknown Gamer getting the second kill onto YF. So that's the dog out. No more juice left for you guys. Then that's a 4v3. Oh, is he going to get the shot? No, he doesn't. I'm surprised, but that is a good shot by Viper. He does get the kill. Viper's not even running the 1.5 and 36, so that must have been a really tight angle to contest. So that's a 4v2. The time is in the favor of defense for the round, but the manpower is in the favor of attack. So Unknown Gamer is down. Unknown Gamer does get killed by Equi now. And with 25 seconds left, V5 does need to start making the push fast, or they are going to lose to time. The main stairs push coming in slowly from... Was that Nostalgia? And there's Nostalgia. Flickshot going for the plant. He backs off quickly towards the end, but Flickshot gets killed. Viper gets the kill. It's all up to Equi now. Viper is going for the plant now. Nostalgia going for the contest. Oh, and attacks do win because Viper... Equi now moves away in the last moment, but Nostalgia gets the kill onto the Alibi. This round goes to V5, and they are up 5-3. That's a good round there.
Very wonderfully done there by the attack. They were able to clear out the roamers. They were able to I mean, they weren't able to clear out all the roamers. Tau the Bice was still there, but Tau the Bice was not able to clear out everybody playing over there in kitchen. And I think if you're playing with C4, I think that some of that C4 should be coming below, and you should have a more roam dedicated operator upstairs, something like a Vigil or a Vigil or Jaeger. Nevertheless, we are going to be moving from that church site to CCTV right now. Not a very uncommon lineup coming in. Flickshot potentially 6-picking onto a sledge, if I had to guess, or just not 6-picking onto anything. Nope, he 6-picks onto the sledge, and Tau is going to 6-pick onto that Vigil. They must be listening to this stream right now because it's the exact things that I was kind of talking about. But nevertheless, we are going to be seeing CCTV come in. And if Tau's able to make something happen out of that early game, I think that this could move into the way of defense. But I do want to say that the attack did a really good job of establishing control. You could see the checklist they had coming off. They ignored trying to take blue at all. They wanted to get early control of dirt. They wanted to hold the player in dirt. They wanted to open up kitchen, clear out anybody playing an arsenal, drop kitchen hatch, plant the diffuser, then hold the diffuser from both kitchen hatch and dirt, preventing any rotates coming in from church and any rotates coming in from blue. And they had that same exact execution both times and were able to make it happen beautifully. I mean, the C4 coming in from Tau was awesome, but Viper was able to trade out the planter, and Nostalgia was able to hold that church wall. And because they knew where the Alibi was playing, there wasn't much Alibi could have done. If Alibi was able to potentially kill the thermite earlier on, he would have been able to rotate it, and it would have been a heads-up gunfight going 50-50, but that was not what we were able to see there. Nevertheless, it looks like we are going to be going to this CC cache wall, as the defense is opting not to hold catwalk. They're not going to be playing anybody over on that garage side. Potentially they have a strategy without needing to do so. Yes, it looks like they're going to be having that MP5K my apologies. They're going to be having that MP5K holding the church push, but without any breach denial. All they need to do is open up that wall. That wall is going to be opened up very early on, as it looks like they are going to be opting to go for this for the CC balcony take right here, as they're going to be having both Nanny and Nostalgia holding there. But nevertheless, Lego is going to be taken out by Viper, and Viper quickly traded out of me by Tau there. But that's going to be your plant denial off the board. Unless they can get the mirror playing below, not having that plant denial is going to be making it a lot more challenging for the defense. And you do have Hazex right here holding catwalk from the CC window. And you're going to be having Tau playing from below catwalk, but if they're able to clear out these players in construction, I think that this is going to be a very difficult round for them. We still do have 2 of those Maestro cams up, and no utility here is able to really clear out any of that. Actually, my apologies, we do have 2 fragments, we still do have Nanny. but with that early round aggression, it's kind of stagnated out right now. As the attackers have opted to rotate around and go for more of a construction-sided push. They can clear up the top of red stairs. This push would be maybe a lot easier, as Unknown Gamer is going to be opening up that construction wall, as they're going to be getting these pre-fires in. Nostalgia clearing out the roamer as the thermite, very wonderfully done there. And now it's going to be all left onto the anchors of the likes of HazeX, YF, and Equinum. Doing his best to try and hold the top of red stairs as YF, the C4, going to be taken out. Unknown Gamer pushing in, getting the diffuser down. They hear the diffuse going down, but they're not able to make anything happen. HazeX rotating out, getting Nostalgia. Quick kill coming in from Equinum onto Nanny, but the diffuser's going to go down. Equinum able to get his third kill of the round. It's going to be a 1v2. As it's all going to be left onto the L185, but his position's going to be known. The defuse is going to be coming in from Equinum, and that's going to be the first defensive round here for Team Exiled.
But that was actually pretty close, I must say. It was a 4v2, but that the shot from Maestro all the way from the catwalk onto the window was what really changed the round, because they lost one defensive line of sight, one retake prevention line of sight there, and the other shot all the way onto whoever was rappelling outside the wall. That was also a brilliant shot by the Maestro of HazeX. Towards the end, HazeX pulling it back from what looked like sending V5 into match point back into telling us that no, they are still in the game. I must say both shots very good by Maestro. Eventually, Sledge, I believe Flickshot did not see the Maestro having prone. It's rather hard watching somebody getting the early shot onto you standing up and then immediately moving on to prone, which makes it rather difficult
Defenders,
to
protect your
contest.
bombs from being
So
defused.
Exiled pulling it from the depths of Doom, I would say. And now this is a gym bedroom defense that we're watching here.
Yes. I really think that the attack had the control that they wanted, but HazeX with some late round heroics was able to really clear that up for them. Him catching the players there, rotating into their post plants situations. Him and I believe it was Equinum. Yes, him and Equinum were the ones able to really clear that up there. But a very wonderful retake done by the defense. It was a 2v4 clutch, and a clutch it was, because there really was not much they could have done with YF being taken out, not able to deny the plant by C4. You had to be really curious. That was one of those harder rounds really to win. But we are going to be going to, I believe, this time around, we are going to be going to a gym hold. They aren't going to be opting to go to church because the attackers seem to have Exiled's number one attack with that church site.
We see Sledge and Zofia of Manny and Flickshot attempting to go for the cash. Generally, you see gym defenses start off with somebody holding down cash in CCTV, because that is one of the entrances that you have to compulsorily clear out. You can't just jump into logistics and attempt to make a push onto the site. You still need to clear out cash, and then slowly move on to whoever's in construction and towards gym site. So you have the castle of YF holding off that hatch in logistics. You don't see a meetup here, unlike what V5 was previously bringing. Something that is rather interesting that I have noticed, I did notice people, I keep getting carried away. Tao the Vice gets the kill onto Viper. That is their primary entry fragger out of the equation, which is really influential, because now you don't have the explosives. You do have the Sledge and the Sophia, but you don't have the explosives to take out the castle barricades. So that's one out of the equation. You still have the Jaeger of Lego holding up the stairs. One thing that I did notice that you're not seeing any Maverick being brought here, which is interesting. Generally, you see Clubhouse have a Maverick brought in to take off to open the wall, but you also aren't seeing a Bandit or a Kite being played very often here, which is rather new. Your first defense starts off with preventing any wall openings, but you do have Flickshot getting the refrag onto Lego, and you have Zofia attempting to the Zofia of Nani trying to get the solo take onto Cash. So while you still have Tao the Vice on the mute holding it up, so who gets some shots all the way onto the feet of Tower the bias, that's Nani bringing the round count to 4v3. But at 44 seconds, they better start making more quick because the construction is still under control of Maestro, and you still have Equinox Coma holding off, having right ankle onto the pole that was open construction. Here's X while I speak, gets the kill but gets refragged by Nani, and now it's back to a 2v2. It's one on attack, one on defense, one on attack, one on defense, going seesaw all the way. It's at 23 seconds. This still looks slightly more defense favoring, even though they are down to 2v1. It's a 1v1. I would say defenders did somehow win. YF gets a double kill on Nostalgia and Unknown Gamer, equalizing the round count a 5v to a 5-5. This really towards the end looked like it could be attackers taking the win, V5 on attack taking the win, because it was a 2v1 and 2v2, and defense both had very low health. But you still but the castle towards the end getting the impact frags at the right moment. At 15 seconds it was rather choking. Tight ankles, lots of shields, lots of bulletproof utility. At every stage they did come across somebody defending off that particular side, so it did end up being blood for blood. My mistake. You had to sacrifice somebody to get the kill there. Regardless, it's a 5v5. Good round by Exiled, pulling it back. So we're going to move on to the 11th round, and it's going to be a Church Arsenal defense from Exiled. We are seeing an Ella that is pretty interesting. Ella was previously just used as a 6th pick, 5th to 6th pick, I would say. So I am guessing the Ella here is looking either for some plant knife, which is some passive intel, active intel coming in from one of the stairways, or it could be a whole new we are yet to see that. Legion, as always, using the impacts for the impact trick. And that's 2 sets of traps. You have 8 traps from Legion and you have 3 traps from Ella. That's 9 traps in response to what I would say is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 explosives brought on defense. So we have to see how these set of explosives are used to take off the traps, and see if at 5-5 stage which team is going to go on first.
I gotta ask, Forge. We've been casting Clubhouse maybe once or twice this season. Have you seen anything new that teams have done? I think when we watch a map being played as much as it is, we see a whole bunch of different things, but I don't think we've seen anything necessarily new.
Yeah, I guess it's the same thing again and again with some tweaks brought in from each team bringing in their own personal flair. Somebody bringing in Ella, somebody bringing in a Doc, somebody a Rook somewhere. Essentially attempting to capitalize on the strength while still using the fundamental strategy that is used in Clubhouse. I would say that Border is one of those maps where the meta is more or less defined. There aren't too many variations you can pull off other than a few vertical plays here and there. So it's all about who lands the kill quickly and who lands the kill first. Clubhouse is pretty close up there. It's also one of the maps where the meta is slowly starting to get more and more streamlined, and one impact is successful, followed by Lego of Exile getting the kill onto Unknown Gamer. That's the Hibana out. One hand bandit trick, and the next moment Hibana's out. So that's a good refrag. I think this was the angle from logistics all the way onto kitchen. So that is very good. You have I would say the Hibana pellets didn't even detonate, so that was a very well timed kill. At 1 minute 30 seconds, this is good delay coming in from defense. From Exiled, having to force attack to re-strategize, that's definitely going to cost them some time. Ow, that was a very good angle. Hazix getting the kill onto Flickshot. I think he was all the way from tunnel. That was good. Using the wall to his advantage, getting kill onto Flickshot. Flickshot really should have realized that the wall was open, but I guess you can't do much when you open the wall in the first 1 minute and then an entire minute and a half later somebody ends up being over there. That's going to be really hard for you to calculate. Is that going to be another engagement win? Ooh, the Ella that is a good recoil control by Hazix. He's doing good, but he just swings in quickly and gets the kill onto Ella. Viper doing a good job of getting kill onto Hazix. That is still a 3v4 in favor of defense with 45 seconds left. The tunnel push needs to start coming in fast, because the hatches are not going to be open anytime soon. Oh, they are going to go for the hatch open. The kitchen hatch onto Arsenal is going to be open. Vigil has rotated back down to blue and is going to maintain some bullet holes all the way onto tunnel. So the Ash of Viper needs to be careful, because he's just one shot away from going into the coffin. Now we are going to be seeing we are going to be seeing some stagnation, but it is 15 seconds left
15
by
seconds remaining.
V5. You better start making a move real quick. What are we going to see? Ella's going in back. Oh, this is Zofia. My mistake. Is going back to. Ooh, Zofia does get killed from the. It's a 1v4 right now. There's not much attack can do. Exiled pulling it back, taking the lead back again ever since the first 3 rounds. This is a win for Exiled. That is 6-5 in their favor.
Yeah, this is going to be, that was a very wonderful round put together. Exiled making a lot happen out of the roam game this time around. They were able to, my apologies, they were able to really make a lot happen out of that. Lego's first pick on unknown gamer, I believe it was really what opened up a lot for the defense. And then they got a lot more aggressive, and the Ella playing in tunnel, I really like that decision. They decided to really adjust their defensive strategy around what the attack was doing. We saw just about every single time the attack was pushing dirt, and their checklist was pushing dirt, get control of dirt, clear out the roamers playing by main stairs. They made no attempt to clear out any roamers over by catwalk. Clear out the roamers by main stairs, get control of kitchen, drop kitchen hatch as the person pushes up from dirt, clearing anybody playing behind AK, plant default, goal post plant. And every single round that they had done that, they'd won. And the defense of Exiled made no attempt to hold down dirt. This time around, they had Viper playing there, and getting very aggressive on the dirt really did play out better in their favor. It made the attack a little bit, I don't want to say uncomfortable, but you definitely saw the attack getting a little bit flustered there. And with only 15 seconds left in the round, I really like how delayed the attack was, and that's really what Exiled needed to do. Coming up very big in this the second half of their own defensive half, and they're going to be going back to CCTV. If they're able to play off a little bit more of that early round aggression, able to get some more early picks, I really think that this can come into the favor of Exiled. We will be going to our 3rd map, but if not, if V5 takes us, we're going to be going to overtime, and honestly, it could go either way. I want to talk really quick, Forge. We are going to be seeing the Dokkaebi brought here. We don't see a whole ton of Dokkaebi play. I mean, I think we've seen Dokkaebi played once before, but it was more of a cheese pick as the team was up 6-0, and they brought it for the Boss G. And it looks like we're going to be seeing the first impact come out here with that hatch. How are you feeling about that? How are you feeling about that Dokkaebi pick, though?
Interesting, definitely. It's also interesting to point we do have Dokkaebi with the flashes, so I would say Flickshot is.
What a shot from the Dokkaebi right there, knowing where the intel was and getting the headshot through the wall, just as we were trying to talk about what's behind
This
it.
is not a cheap pick. This is a well calculated luck, I would say. Very well calculated luck. Perfectly good use of the drones and the intel that comes in from Dokkaebi, and then making use of the destruction capabilities of the DMR. Something that not a lot of people are paying attention to of late, because you do have good destruction from the DMR coming in. And you have limb penetration that is there. Very good. So hats off to Flickshot moving off the sledge and onto the Dokkaebi. It's like a mix. It's like a budget mix of a buck and a sledge, because you have flashes, some bit of destruction, and a lot of intel that you can play around with. You got your calls, you can hack your cams. I think if Flickshot is able to move in safely and get the hack on the cams, that's a lot of intel for whoever does get killed on V5 later on in the future. So, before I continue, I must say, Pond, I'm noticing Twitch chat, there are a lot of fans of you. There are a few fans who are here specifically for you, so you're making a name for yourself, my friend. And
Maybe, possibly. As we're moving on, Dokkaebi is just being an absolute animal, wreaking havoc, finding the feet in a second kill. We were questioning this Dokkaebi pick, but it's coming out very well. Nostalgia able to clear out Equinom. I think Equinom was playing at the top of red stairs, so now they only have a player, or no, my bad, it's how the Vice playing on top of red stairs. Hazex getting contested on catwalk, but the plant potentially coming down. If they're able to clear out, Tau, they should be able to take this. Tau getting the diffuser down. He's gonna wide sweep over here onto balcony, clearing out this player, but his position's gonna be known. Viper able to clear up Hazex and clearing up that round. We are gonna be moving on to overtime, ladies and gentlemen, as Viper is able to do exactly what Ash does. Swing, peek, click, kill. Absolutely wonderfully done there. and absolutely wonderfully done with the likes of Dokkaebi. I mean, I was questioning that pick, but man, that first wall bang headshot, then clearing out the player playing in cash, pushing the defense back into red and catwalk as the CC wall was open. Very, very wonderfully done. It looks like Flick is gonna be oh nope. Maybe we'll be seeing a 6 pick onto it. Not knowing that here now, but we are going to be going on to the first round of our overtime, as it looks like Exiled is going to be starting out on defense, starting with that gym bomb site that we had seen before, and opting to go for the pulse this time around. I really like that choice from Tao, as he does enjoy that roaming game quite a bit. But
Attackers need to locate and
Tao
defuse
also
any
did a good
bombs
job the
they
last
can.
time we saw Jim being played. He did a good job holding down Cash. So it'd be I'm curious to see how they're going to be making that adjustment. Potentially he'll be playing down in logistics and in that main lobby area to potentially contest from below. But yeah, I mean, they won. I don't necessarily agree with the decision to go to Jim first. They had a lot more of a convincing win on CC. And the Jim win was from a lot of late round heroics from YF, but nevertheless, I'm liking a lot of the adjustments they are making in order to hold this. And it looks like Tao is not going to opt for any vertical control. Huh. Interesting choice there. Nevertheless, we will be moving on to the round. It looks like we're potentially going to be seeing a very early take of the Jacuzzi wall, not opting to even go for the potentially split push of Jacuzzi wall and construction. We do see a lot of teams do that, as the utility is going to be going up to the wall here. Nostalgia looking for the drone holes, as we have seen Virtual-5 this entire series try and get a little bit more of those cheeky angles. The drones are going in. They do know they have 2 players playing in there. With this nerf onto Thatcher, requires a little bit more coordination for the attack, as that will clear out the utility. Nostalgia is going to be taking over, and they are going to be able to get this Jacuzzi wall very early on in the round. Only a minute left, and they know that they have 2 players playing behind here. He is going to be peeking and shooting, as Nostalgia does.
What is the point in shoot adventure? Just saying. So, while we're at it, so the Jacuzzi wall finally does get open, and with 1 minute 41 seconds left, no engagement so far. Nobody seems to have lost their health. The Bandit of Hazex doing a really good job this match is attempting to go for a dangerous contest from the bathroom. So while we're at it, the Jaeger still... Oh, the hatch is open? Oh, the hatch is open. So Jaeger does have a cheeky angle from construction all the way onto CCTV cache. This might be a little tricky because they might not be expecting him. Oh, he goes for a bolt take, and he does lose his life to the Nanny on Sophia. Gets the kill on construction. That's construction relatively easier to take now, with the Jaeger no longer being there, but Castle is still holding off logistics. Construction through logistics. So this might be a little more difficult. At 56 seconds, they start making quick. Equinom gets the kill on Unknown Gamer as they run out to the equation, but Nanny there to take off Todd the Price. That is Intel and C4 both out. At 46 seconds, that was something they should have waited to expend early on. This shield that Equinom has placed can be really risky, and while we're at it, the shield is taken out. Oof! Nice shot by Equinom. Gets the head of Nanny, and it's all the way into a 2v3. Exile still retaining the advantage here, 26 seconds. It's still defender sided. Viper gets the kill onto Equinom, but will he be able to move into sight? They need something to push quick. There's 15 seconds, and YF does his heroics again, and he gets the kill onto that. Oh, Flickshot does get the kill onto YF. It's a 1v1 of that. It's a 1v1. Who's gonna win this out? Oh, that's very well. Jiggledy. Unfortunate. Hazex does get the kill on a flick shot. This round belongs to Exile. Very well done. They did do a good job at delaying them. This, I must say, in Jim, the presence of the shield and the presence in construction did a good job at delaying attack very well. Basically second guessing every single move of theirs. Even though they got the wall open by the 2-minute mark, there was not enough, because at every stage they did have to contest with somebody or the other on defense, like Jaeger on Jaeger in construction, Castle having good rotations between logistics and bedroom, and the shield there allowing them for good angles all the way onto the outside. That did eventually use up some utility. And we're at now where Exiled is currently at overtime match point at 7-6. V5 are going to have to pull up their socks if they want to win this.
Yeah, very interesting decision there. I mean, Viper able to kind of equalize it up, but Flickshot being stuck in that prone position with HazeX just doing as HazeX does, wide peak and everything, and it was a gunfight that could have gone either way.
Protect your bombs.
But yeah, Viper, I really liked Viper pushing in, but that round was won by some late round heroics from YF. It looks like four of YF's kills is actually all four of the skills have come in the gym defense, which I think personally is pretty funny, but very wonderfully held there by Team Exile. They got the jacuzzi wall opened very early on, but they weren't able to get a good push coming in from there. The defense of, I believe it was the defense of Lego was able to really hold that off. And even with that wall open, you really want to be able to contest from there. You want to be able to open up into that gym bomb site, but they weren't able to get any control in there. And I really liked the shield that was placed. Equinom has played very well, as we've seen today on the Lamai, but his shield placements have been a lot that I haven't necessarily seen before. I really like playing it on the bed there, because that nice little tight angle, as we saw before, he was able to net 2 kills off of that and made it almost a nightmare to try and contest from that master bedroom window. Nevertheless, we will be moving on to Exiled on attack, facing elimination for this round, forcing us to a third map. They are going to be my apologies, Virtual-5 being faced on to go into the next map. As a very early kills coming on from HazeX onto Flickshot. That's gonna be your roamer being taken out very early on. HazeX did lose some health, but in a one-shot headshot game, health very little matters. The first impact grenade coming up, but the impact trick not successful, as they do get that kitchen hatch open, and a lot of control being established early on from the my apologies, from the attack, but Nostalgia able to clear out Lego. That's going to be your your Thatcher, but Thatcher not being able to make as much of an impact this round as well, actually the Thatcher can make a little bit of an impact there on the church wall. Nevertheless, we are going to be moving on with this hatch opened up and HazeX playing above. Nostalgia holding kind of a risky angle all the way up to logistics. As we continue to move on, the attack kind of stagnating a little bit here, trying to figure out what their next plan of action is. They have that hatch open, but they might potentially go for a dirt push here, as we don't have that strong of a roam game coming in from the defense here, as the attack have almost entire control of the first and second floor. Moto hatch going to be opened up now, and we are going to be seeing the visual rotating up. Does he know that somebody's playing over here in bathroom? Potential gunfight coming in. As the gunfight comes in, Nanny's able to clear out Tao the Bice. Tao the Bice being an absolute animal on the G8A1, taken off very early. As Moto hatch is open, Nanny just rotates back to site. The defense have the holds that they want. I believe that they left garage dirt unreinforced. So that's just a free open for the attack now, as Equinom considering pushing down there. As we are going to see YF drop down the hatch, but he's going to be taken out. He's going to be taken out by Nanny. Nanny with a second kill of the round onto YF. It's all going to be left on to Equinom and HazeX, as Equinom rotates his way down into dirt. Nanny with a third kill onto HazeX. And it looks like Equinom's going to push in. He's going to be able to get unknown gamer. 13 seconds left on the round. Nostalgia is able to clear it all up. And that is going to be 7-7 round 1 here by the defense. And we're going to be going on to map point. Very beautifully done there by the defense. Able to get those early picks. And even though they lost one of the roamers early on, Nanny able to do the most out of it, rotating up main stairs with no intel holding him down, able to clear out Tao. And then in his rotate down, able to clear out the man, the myth, the legend, YF with his heroics in the gym round. Wasn't able to make anything happen there, and able to be cleared out by Nanny. Very beautifully done by the defense.
So I must say, early round we could see attack slowly and methodically dismantling defense, but towards the end there wasn't much that could be done. The opening kill onto the roamer of V5 didn't really impact them much because we did have Nani on the vigil on the main stairs taking off the IQ. By then it was already a 4v3, and that slowly took away time from attack. That there was not much for attack to do because by then you're already down 3, you're already getting choked by both time and by defense. You have to start making your push, but neither can you push from the hatch because there's a tight angle coming in from blue because you still have 4 defenders on the board. And nor can you just walk on the main stairs because there are still some lesion traps over there and your IQ is out of the board to inform you where the lesion mines are. So even though Exile started strong, V5 did end up retaliating pretty well, getting the impact frags at the right moments, and that's why now we are at 7-7. Moving on to the next round, it's a CCTV defense. Electrified Goyo Shield. Finally, we're seeing a Goyo Shield being brought in. Like we saw the trump card strat of V5 having the Dokkaebi, same way I guess the Goyo is Exile's trump card strat. Contingency plan, I would say. Hopefully the fires can help them delay it to a certain extent. That Goyo Shield, I must say, is not the best option because even when you have the ADSs to stop any grenades, if that shield does manage to blow up at that point late round, that blocks off the retake for 11 seconds, and that's not going to work in your favor. So even though their intention is to have a safe peek onto the wall once opened, I'm guessing they will be able to just see how the Goyo Shield works out. But on the surface, it's not the best option to be in that position. But you do have a Mira, so Mira is not somebody we have seen played often on cash, at least for the past 1 year. But you do have it being played right now, attempting to go for some late round push prevention, late round retake prevention. We are going to have the wall going to be open here, so that's the ADS being burnt out, the flashes being used to do that. The Zofia is trying to get the wall open because you still have the bandit that is blocking it off, but I am not sure it's going to work out. This is one of the places where Zofia's vertical play is going to work out better than the going for the straight up drone hole explosives. You have Lego attempting to hold up the stairs. So my mistake. Viper going for prone to prevent any retakes, any early round retakes, but you've already gone 1 minute 34 seconds. V5, you've got to start making it quickly. The walls are going to start being open. Hibana, the V5 having taken control of gym and bedroom already, moving into construction slowly. Maestro still on the board. Explosives are the better option right now because that's going to provide undeniable intel for them.
Yeah, and we are going to be moving on. They have control of construction right now. They've pushed the defenders back into the site. The first pick coming out right now. That's going to be Lego taken off the board by Unknown Gamer. Unknown Gamer trying to clear out top of red stairs right now. They're trying to make something happen, as it looks like that pick for the Goyo is going to play in the favor of the attack, as Tao's going to be left on about 30 HP, and Tao's going to be taken out very early on. Right now, it looks like Exiled's going to be facing the a 2-0 loss in the map if they're not able to clear everything up. But they have to clear out HazeX on Catwalk, as we've seen his late round heroics really clear up a lot for CC. But as construction is open, and it looks like Peak or YF, my apologies, going to be taken out by Nostalgia. 2v5, the attackers getting the control they want. If they're able to get that plant down, as Flickshot does open up, he is going to rotate in. He's going to start to get that plant down. Viper able to clear out HazeX. It's all going to be left on to Equinom. Equinom able to clear him out, but Viper's going to rotate up the main stairs. He's going to clear out Equinom. That is going to be the second map won by V5, and they are going to face K11 in the top of the losers bracket, and very wonderfully done. We played out all 15 rounds there, and my God, it came down to that last 12 seconds of the round. Not able to secure it, but Exiled fighting tooth and nail to stay in the fight. Very, very wonderfully done there by the likes of Viper.
Yeah, we had every member of Viper having good contributions throughout the round. Exiled as well, they did a good job, each of them making good contributions all throughout. But towards the end, the Goyo Shield, one of the points that Exile must take as their homework, because it did not work out in the best favor. That is not a place you typically want a fire shield waiting to eat up yourself. But towards the end, time not working out in their favor, attack making good use of the angles. We were all waiting for YF to pull off some heroics, but that didn't work out pretty well. YF getting fragged out by that Windows, and the once the wall was opened, the Jaeger having lost his life to the Zofia in the long range peak. So towards the end, 5v1, not much that Exile could have done. GG's to both teams. We did see some good gameplays all throughout. It did come down to the wire towards the end. Even in the first round in Cafe, it was a 3-3 split before V5 started pulling off. So these, like we said, these were some closely matched teams. And Pond, like you said, your pick of V5 did prove to be right. So all in all, I would say a good game.
Yeah, a very, very wonderfully done game. I want to thank everybody for joining us today. Tomorrow morning, or my apologies, tomorrow night at 8 p.m. GMT plus 8, we are going to be going on to, I believe, the match of KL11 versus Virtual-5. The winner of that match will go on to face Mischief in the finals for our tournament. Mischief looking like a very powerful team, so teams are going to have to bring their A game. I want to thank everybody for joining us again today. I'm going to kick it off to Forge to let us go by for our final goodbyes.
Yeah, thank you, Pond. So thanks everybody for joining us. It was good seeing you all uh, join us for our casting. It was nice reading some of the Twitch chats. I must say, Pond, you did make some friends in there, make some fans, I would say. So thank you everybody for joining us. Hope to see you all tomorrow in our game of V5 versus KL11. So stay home, stay safe, keep playing Siege, and keep watching Streamline Minor League.
Shout out to Chief in the chat.